Hey, my beautiful family and friends, my reflections. How are we? Doing good. I'm Chanel. I am a creative oracle and spiritual artist, helping people through healing and expression. And today I wanted to get deep and talk about earth angels and the seraphim and what got me on that thought wave in the first place. Was thinking about how earth angels are like cats. And that explains my little headband that I'm rocking today. I just wanted to briefly give a story time about my cat named Bangle Spice and how that whole pet spiritually came to me, and it was quite magical. So in 2017, I was living in Kansas City, Missouri with my daughter, who was about 14, 15 at that time. And we had been finding mouse droppings in the house, and I knew that there were mice. And I talked to my landlord about it. He said to get some traps. So we got some glue traps, but nothing was turning up. And so I said one day during breakfast, man, we should get a cat. That's the humane way of dealing with these mice. I was just mentioning how cats keep the mice away. So my daughter went to the park, and when she returned, she had this cute little kitten. I mean, it was the most adorable little kitten I've ever seen in her hand. And she said to me, like, that it just walked up to her. And it just came out of nowhere. And she had a couple friends who were vouching for her story and saying, like, yeah, it happened just like that, just like magic. And so I was really like, whoa, what is this? I just this morning spoke up how we needed a cat, and then one shows up. So I felt like between me and my daughter, we were just magical manifestors. And this pet was sent from the ancestors, the spirit team, right? So it came in house. It didn't even know how to use the bathroom. It was that small. So we really looked into how to care for the kitten and potty train it and all of that. Never mind the fact that I'm allergic to cats. I just wanted it to start dealing with the mice because I'm even more afraid of the mice. So I was like, yeah, we're gonna raise this kitten to be a mouse hunter. So the cat ended up really taking a liking to me out of everyone in the house, and it would just chill with me. It would get all tangled up in my hair and just cause mischief. And I usually would be around dogs. My dad, he loves Rottweilers. So I grew up around Rottweilers in my teenage years and on. But in my childhood years, we were never allowed to have pets because we lived in apartments growing up. So the most I would have would be like goldfish or just an aquarium of fish. And so this cat, I was just kind of like, wow, I didn't know that I was a cat person, but I loved how I could just get frisky with it, and like I would grab it by the face and throw it, and it would just run back, and we would just do this whole like frisky play. And I would go, kill her, shoot, kill her, and throw it. And she loved it. We, kept her until one day the oven needed some maintenancing, and we tried to put the kitten on the back porch while the landlord came to fix the oven. But he noticed her and said, yeah, we got to talk about your pet kitten here. Like, it is not allowed unless you pay a pet deposit. And it was like basically the cost of rent. So we didn't want to pay that. And it did eventually start to do its job of scaring the mice into the glue traps, and so it did get to serve its purpose, but we had to start keeping it like on the outside. Like, we had the front and back porch. We couldn't keep it inside the house. And so eventually it disappeared, just went on its own way. And I really missed the cat, and eventually we moved away and I never saw it again. But that was just the story. Peace to Bangle Spice, aka Spice. I love you, Spice. And man, you changed my life. It made me a cat lover. And because we got it when it was so small, my allergies, got used to the dander, and I never had any allergic reaction to that cat. And I really felt like it was heaven sent. And so that you're going to see how I tie that into today's good word, where I talk about earth angels and the seraphim. And so I'm going to break it down. Both earth angels and seraphim originate from a higher realm of consciousness, and it's like where there's pure frequency and purpose, and it's a realm that many traditions call heaven. But on my previous video, I explained how heaven is a frequency band, not a physical place. And so that's what I'm talking about. It's like a place where consciousness is shared by souls, and so they all remember their role and their purpose very clearly, and they come to earth as earth angels, or they remain in heaven as seraphim. And it's not that mythological way that seraphim are depicted, or angels are depicted as having wings and long robes on and singing choir in heaven. This is a way that invisible things had been given humanistic qualities, and the only humanistic qualities can be given to earth angels, because they actually incarnate with that frequency already encoded in their DNA. But earth angels and seraphim are not different species. They come from that same expression of source frequency. They just are fulfilling different assignments. And so they're not of different hierarchies either. They come with equal consciousness, just different roles getting played out. It's just that seraphim works in energy, and earth angels work in experience and emotions. The seraphim design the frequency, and the earth angels help humans or humanity align with the divine pattern. And so if you're like me, you identify as being an earth angel because you live a life where you're not here just to escape humanity. You're here, you feel like you have a purpose to sanctify humanity and purify it with your unique energy that you bring. And an earth angel is going to have a presence that naturally shifts the energy wherever they go, and it happens without even trying. And by simply living, we exemplify how to carry out the sensitivity, the compassion, the intuitive knowing, and that inner pull to just guide and uplift and awaken others. And it's often through creativity or deep connections with others. There's not much like surface level interaction that happens. It goes all the way to the core. And so there are some core traits of an earth angel that I'm going to break down, and maybe you'll see that you too are one of us. So first, I already talked about being emotional transmuters, how we can absorb or transmute energy that is happening in a room. Like wherever we go, if there's heaviness in the room, we can just lighten that mood by simply existing in the room. And so that is one of the key traits of an earth angel. The next one, number 2, is the embodied compassion, right? We have hearts that came already open, and even after betrayal, after pain or misunderstandings, we can still keep that unconditional love and compassion that we choose. It's a choice, and it's not naive. It's not being a doormat. It is a way to embody the natural frequency of heaven, and the way that God forgives and still loves, no matter what sins happen, right? What transgressions, as long as you apologize, as long as you show an intention of wanting to improve or help the situation, it's all good. We can easily give that compassion, the compassion of Christ, right? And then the third trait is just the lessons that we learn through experience. A lot of earth angels go through some tough stuff, and it's just like one thing after another, but it's not punishments. It's actually strengthening us every experience, because we incarnated as earth angels to have those experiences and to transmute things. Like, we wanted to be in AP classes, so to speak, and get that challenging curriculum that earth teaches, because every hardship just becomes wisdom, and eventually we just share it with others. So that is a strong trait of being an earth angel. And then fourth is just carrying innocence and truth like a badge. It's not being childish. It is keeping that childlike, innocent quality, the one that is fair and true and pure. We can see that good in others and in life, in situations where others aren't even looking that deeply. We can even sense it. So that is another signature trait of the earth angels. This next trait, number 5, is a tough one that I know a lot about, which is being a relationship catalyst. So there have been really tough relationships with ex-partners that have really challenged me, but I was there to trigger transformations in partners, but not only partners, but also friends, family. And it's not like I'm trying to push their buttons intentionally and be an antagonist. I just naturally do. Like, my frequency irritates their demons, or it just just irritates and exposes what needs to come out and rise up and be cleared. A bulk of my lessons have come from this sort of relationship breakdown that leads to more growth. The next trait is being creative messengers. And so the way that my art and my words and my music and presence carries underlying messages, that is coming directly from that heavenly frequency. And I've learned to channel that information through my vessel. And, it's something that I feel like only a soul of an earth angel can deliver. And that is what I do. I don't make content, I transmit frequencies, and that way you can pick up on that heavenly frequency for yourself, and you're either going to resonate with it and be in harmony with it, or it's going to trigger you and irritate you, and then you'll end up doing whatever work is needed to fix that. And so it's all about balance at the end of the day, and harmony. And this last trait that I'm going to cover is how earth angels heal without even trying. And, we can regulate others' nervous systems by our presence alone, and it inspires clarity, and it softens the defenses, it kind of disarms. And that is the very trait that is cat-like. And that is when I had my cat Spice, what I experienced, that she could just be chilling with me on my lap, and she wasn't trying to heal anyone, but she was healing me. She didn't try to perform or force any healing on me. She didn't try to manage my emotions. Cats don't do any of that. They just simply exist in their true frequency, and then the environment shifts around them. Whenever Spice would enter the room, it would be all eyes on her, and I was going through a lot of stress at that time, but she would help my nervous system settle, and she would even help me to clear my energy, because after spending some time with her, I wouldn't even think about whatever was stressing me anymore. And so that truth became obvious, that she was the one, without even doing a thing, that was making a change in me and in my life experiences, and it was for the better. So earth angels work precisely in that same way. And it's not effort, it's not labor, it's not foresight or a calculation. When I am in my true essence and I go outside, or I enter a function or spend time with someone, I can see that is the effect that I'm having. And the key is to not internalize anyone else's emotions, but to neutralize them. And that's what cats do. And when earth angels are healthy, they can take someone's pain and not take it on as their own, but to help them get through it. And it usually happens in a divine way. It's not even in a conscious way. It may even be through the frequencies carried in my voice, or people listening to me speak, that ends up disarming them, making them feel comfortable and lowering the stress. I love ministering in that way. and just being there for people. Anyone can come to me and I'll listen, I'll talk to them, I'll just be there for them as long as I'm needed and wanted. And this is another cat-like trait, is that a cat will leave when it can tell that it's no longer welcome somewhere or it's being mistreated. That cat will be up. And so my beautiful little spicy poo was gone after the landlord said, hey, she can't be here. And when it was no longer welcomed in, we saw less and less of her. And real earth angels, they leave, quietly and sometimes permanently. We can give people breaks as needed, and sometimes the break is permanent. And that is classic earth angel behavior, to set boundaries that are nonverbal before we even say anything. Just put that up and give some space. But earth angels will also choose who they're going to give their access to, similar to how out of the house Spice chose me, and it was like she was my cat, but she decided that I was the one that deserved access to the healing that she could bring. And earth angels can be selective and use that type of discerning as well. We know that our healing is powerful and needed, and we are not aloof. We know where the presence is almost medicinal, and so we have to protect that medicine. It can't just be fed to any Tom, Dick, Harry, right? We gotta say, this can be draining to give, some of my energy to too many people. Our presence is a resource. It's a hot commodity, so it must be protected. And what was extremely calming to me was being around Spice, and she started purring, and that purr is vibrational, right? And that's the healing through the vibration. There are ways that emotions can be read as frequencies with certain machines. So the same vibration that a cat outputs, emotions are vibrations that humans output. And so it's the same principle in that way. But out of all of the cat traits that seem to be parallel with earth angel traits, it's that stillness and that knowing when to pounce, when to be chill and reserved. It's like they're sitting and receiving transmissions from the higher intelligence. So do earth angels. The more still we are, or even when we go into that trance-like state of mind by quietly drawing or writing or meditating, we're having a transmission come in, a download from heaven, the heavenly frequencies. And it's a way of reorganizing the field that surrounds us. We can take chaos and make something organized and beautiful with it, something meaningful. And so, yeah, earth angels have a very cat-like healing quality to them, to us. And it happens through authenticity, just being ourselves, and it's effortless and it's beautiful. So yeah, this video is for all my cat people. Peace. And yes, my earth angels too. Stand up loud, proud. Don't let them keep you down. Don't let them make you feel small. Just shine, just be you. That's all you got to do. And if you resonate with this video, if you like cats, if you feel like I was speaking to you with all the earth angel traits, make a comment. You can leave a little cat emoji, or just say purr, or any kind of confirmation that you like. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. All right, that is all that I have for today. I have some Chanel Creates videos coming up soon, so stay tuned. And until next time, peace. Love you guys.